Looking at all these things that people are talking about with Caitlin Clark, it's like, guys, chill out. Like, she's gonna be fine. Like, it's 2 games in. Are you kidding me? She's a student of the game. She got better every year. You're not going to just absorb all of the new information that's coming at you in 2 games, in 2 weeks. It takes time. And she will. I have no doubt about it. She's a student of the game. She continues to get better. And these are also
just days before the 2026 WNBA season tipped off. Head coach Stephanie White delivered a statement about Caitlin Clark that instantly shifted the mood around the Indiana Fever. This wasn't just a routine comment. It carried the kind of weight coaches only use when they know something the rest of the league doesn't. After weeks marked by injury worries, low-profile recovery, and growing pressure, White's words felt less like praise and more like a subtle warning. It left one big question hanging. What exactly did she see in Clark that suddenly has everyone paying close attention?
Random side quest that you are now doing right before the season is about to start. It's already a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of catch up to be done to build this team up around Caitlin Clark, to make the right decisions in this offseason, one starting with the critical Kelsey Mitchell decision, draft decisions, and you are...
In professional sports, some statements land like a genuine warning shot, without any trash talk, flashy headlines, or obvious locker room drama. Sometimes, that message comes disguised as praise, delivered calmly by a coach who has seen enough behind the scenes to understand exactly what's about to unfold.
2026 season is already starting off bad. Look like Stephanie White has made headlines for all of the wrong reasons. We're less than 7 days away from the CBA deal being officially signed, sealed, and delivered. The big return of Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever girls for the WNBA 2026 calendar year should be the #1 priority, you will think, for the head coach. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't look like she give a damn about Caitlin Clark comeback, and it damn sure don't look like she care.
This is exactly why Stephanie White's statement about Caitlin Clark ahead of the 2026 WNBA season didn't come across as a simple boost in confidence. It felt more like a powerful message directed at the rest of the league. When the Indiana Fever head coach finally revealed what she had been noticing in Clark, it was clear she was doing much more than just praising her standout player.
The hot seat, Kelly Krauskopf, sending new eyes and new ears to the coach's room saying, hey, keep an eye on that Stephanie White, will ya? Make sure she doesn't do anything that we wouldn't approve
Lynn Dunn,
of, please. Has been reintroduced by the Indiana Fever as a coaching consultant. If you guys remember last year, Lynn Dunn moved from the general manager to...
Her statement sent a clear and undeniable signal. The version of Caitlin Clark taken to court in 2026 is not the same player the league faced in 2025. It's a completely evolved competitor. That realization alone is enough to put every defensive mind across the WNBA on edge. What many outsiders viewed as a difficult sophomore stretch for Clark within the Indiana Fever was, in reality, something entirely different. It was a period of growth that's now about to reveal its full impact.
Knocking anyone for pursuing their other passions and collecting, paychecks, getting your money. I've been a proponent of I'm not going to run around and tell people to take pay cuts thing. I'm not going to tell people you shouldn't get your money. But Stephanie White, right now, you need to be focused on things that need to be done in this off season, as you absolutely screwed the pooch and blew it last off season when you wanted to do Stephanie White and friends. You went and messed up last off season, bringing in all your...
For Caitlin Clark, the previous season turned into a phase of deep rebuilding, marked by careful adjustments, relentless discipline, and intense work behind closed doors. While much of the basketball world questioned whether injuries had thrown off her path in 2025, Stephanie White was witnessing something entirely different inside the team's practice facility. A player attacking her recovery with the same urgency most reserved for a do-or-die playoff game. This is where the Derailed story begins. Not at a press conference or on social media, but in the aftermath of a season that was supposed to define Clark's rise. The 2025 campaign had been billed as her grand breakout. After a rookie year that turned even regular Indiana Fever games into must-watch events, expectations were sky high, but reality took a sharp turn. Injuries struck early, forcing Clark into a brace and disrupting her momentum. What initially seemed like a minor preseason issue developed into an ongoing groin problem that never fully healed. Instead of dominating opponents across the league, she spent much of the year fighting her own body. By season's end, she had appeared in just 13 games, a surprisingly low number that barely seemed believable given the hype surrounding her.
Stephanie White puts Indiana Fever aside and step away from the WNBA for a smidget. Guys, why would she know you got to focus on free agent? You got to focus on Kelsey Mitchell. You got to focus on what offense you got to run. But instead, look like Fever coach balanced Team USA duties and ESPN experience at the breakthrough 2025 season. Look like she's trying to capitalize on the momentum that this team generated for the calendar year last year. Instead, the gym lights never really turned off. They just shined somewhere else.
Squandered energy. Every single action possessed deliberate intent. Even with those major challenges, the Indiana Fever didn't fall apart. Instead, they finished strong with a 24-20 record, clinched a playoff spot, eliminated the Atlanta Dream, and pushed the powerful Las Vegas Aces to the brink in a hard-fought semifinal that went to overtime in Game 5. For a team missing its biggest star for much of the year, this wasn't just survival. It was proof of a deeply solid system in place. That structure clearly reflected the influence of Stephanie White, who returned to Indiana with a vision far beyond simply managing talent. Her goal was bigger, to unlock Caitlin Clark's full potential and elevate her from a generational player into a consistent winner. This wasn't a routine hire. It was a former Coach of the Year stepping into a franchise that believed it had found its defining cornerstone. Then came the statement that shifted the entire off-season conversation. White spoke in detail about closely observing Clark's training, offering an insight that carried more weight than any stat line ever could. What stood out most wasn't Clark's natural skill, her deep shooting range, elite vision, or highlight reel shot making that's already becoming part of basketball lore. It was her efficiency. According to White, Clark trained with zero waste, no unnecessary movement, no extra drills, no wasted energy. Every action had purpose. Every repetition was intentional, and every moment contributed to something bigger.